Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak directly to the heart of every person listening. There comes a moment in your life when you must stop running from yourself, when you must stop seeking validation from everyone else. You must finally recognize the value that resides within you. That moment, my friends, is now. It's time to focus, not on the noise of the world, not on the distractions that pull you in 100 directions, but on the one person who will walk with you through every trial, every victory, disappointment, and every celebration yourself. Yes, it's time to look in the mirror and say, I am worthy, I am capable, I am more than enough. Too many of us live as if the world's opinions define us. Too many of us let fear dictate our choices. You were created with purpose. You were given gifts that no one else has. And if you do not focus on yourself and value yourself, the world will never see the brilliance that already exists within you. Focusing on yourself does not mean you are selfish. It means you are responsible for your life. It means you are guarding your energy, your mind, and your heart. It means you are saying yes to growth and no to distractions, negativity, and people who do not see your worth. Valuing yourself means investing in your mind, your body, your spirit, and your future. It means understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you do not possess. When you value yourself, you set boundaries, you speak your truth, you rise above the noise that tries to convince you otherwise. I know it is not easy. The world will test you. It will try to tell you that you are too much or too little or not ready. But hear me now, the power to change your life begins when you recognize your worth, the doors you have been knocking on, dreams you have been chasing, and the life you have been praying for will only open when you focus, when you honor yourself, when you refuse to settle for anything less than your value. So today, make the decision. Decide to focus. Decide to protect your energy. Decide to honor your gifts. And most importantly, decide to value yourself, because when you do, the world will have no choice but to recognize your greatness. Self-focus is not a suggestion, it is a necessity. In a world that constantly demands your attention, your energy, and your time, the ability to focus on yourself is the difference between living a life of mediocrity and living a life of purpose. So many of us are caught up in the chaos of other people's expectations, other people's opinions, and other people's drama, forgetting that the most important relationship we will ever have is the one we have with ourselves. When I say self-focus is essential, I do not mean that you should be selfish or detached from others. I mean that you must recognize the value of your own time, your own energy, and your own growth. Too often, people spend their lives trying to please others, trying to fit in, trying to be what the world wants them to be, and in the process, they lose sight of who they are meant to become. Focus on yourself first. Focus on your dreams first. Focus on your purpose first. Because if you do not, life will make the decision for you. Life will pull you in directions you do not want to go. And before you know it, you will have lived a life shaped by the desires of others rather than the fire within your own soul. Self-focus is essential because it allows you to understand your purpose. When you take the time to look inward, to quiet the noise of the world, you begin to hear the whispers of your own heart. You begin to recognize your gifts, your talents, your passions, and your calling. There is a power that comes from understanding who you are and what you were created to do. Without focus, you remain scattered, uncertain, and easily swayed by the opinions and distractions that surround you. But when you focus, clarity emerges. You begin to see your path, and the steps you take start to align with the destiny that is waiting for you. Every great achievement in history started with focus. Every person who rose above mediocrity and changed the world had a moment in their life when they decided to focus on themselves and their purpose. They understood that distractions were the enemy of progress, and they refused to allow the chaos of life to dictate their direction. Focus allowed them to prioritize, to make sacrifices, and to invest in themselves in ways that others were not willing to do. The world did not shape them. They shaped themselves because they recognized the power of self-focus. Self-focus is also essential because it protects your energy. Your time, your thoughts, and your emotions are sacred resources, and you cannot afford to waste them on things that do not matter. Too many people give their energy to situations that drain them, to people who do not appreciate them, and to conflicts that have no resolution. When you focus on yourself, you learn to conserve your energy for what truly matters. You learn to identify the relationships, opportunities, and actions that move you closer to your goals. You learn to say no to the things that do not serve your growth. And in that discipline, you find freedom, peace, and power. Self-focus is essential because it builds self-awareness. When you dedicate time to yourself, when you reflect on your life, your choices, and your goals, you gain insight into who you are and what you truly want. Self-awareness is the foundation of growth. Without it, you are wandering in the dark, making decisions based on habit, fear, or the influence of others. With it, you can make intentional choices that propel you forward. You begin to understand your strengths and weaknesses, your desires and your fears, and you can chart a course that honors both your potential and your purpose. Self-focus is essential because it strengthens resilience. Life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will place obstacles in your path that seem insurmountable. But when you are focused on yourself, when you know your value and your purpose, you are less likely to be shaken by external circumstances. Your sense of self becomes your anchor. When the storms of life rage, you stand firm because your foundation is not dependent on approval, recognition, or validation from others. Your focus keeps you grounded, your clarity keeps you moving, and your purpose keeps you going. Self-focus is essential because it allows for growth. Cannot grow if you are constantly distracted by the world around you. Growth requires attention, effort, and intentionality. It requires you to invest in your mind, your body, your spirit, and your talents. It requires you to read, to learn, to practice, push beyond your comfort zone. Self-focus creates the space for this growth. It ensures that your energy is directed toward progress, toward improvement, toward becoming the best version of yourself. Self-focus is essential because it shapes your destiny. The truth is, no one else can live your life for you. No one else can chase your dreams, overcome your obstacles, or fulfill your purpose. That responsibility rests squarely on your shoulders. The only way to carry it successfully is to focus. Focus on what matters. Focus on what is true. Focus on the vision that burns within you. Because when you do, doors open that were previously hidden. Opportunities appear that were previously unseen, and your life begins to reflect the greatness that has always been inside you. But self-focus is not easy. The world will scream for your attention. People will demand your energy. Circumstances will challenge your patience. That is why self-focus requires discipline. It requires courage. It requires the ability to say no, to set boundaries, and to protect what is sacred. But let me tell you this, the reward is worth it. The clarity you gain, the peace you experience, and the life you create when you are focused on yourself cannot be measured. It is freedom. It is empowerment. It is transformation. Focus on yourself. Stop allowing the world to dictate your path. Stop giving your energy to what does not serve you. Stop seeking validation from people who do not see your value. Look inward. Listen to your heart. Understand your purpose. Guard your energy. Invest in your growth. Protect your dreams. And above all, recognize that self-focus is not a luxury. It is essential. It is the key that unlocks your potential, the path that leads to your destiny, and the foundation upon which you build a life of significance, fulfillment, and impact. It's time to focus. It's time to center your life on what matters most. It's time to value yourself and take the steps necessary to create a life that reflects your worth, your gifts, and your purpose. The world will wait, but your life cannot. Focus, rise, and step into the greatness that belongs to you. Your destiny is calling. Will you answer? There is a power in recognizing your worth. There is a force, a fire, and a freedom that comes when you truly understand that you are more than what anyone else tells you, more than what the world measures, and more than the limitations you have allowed to define you. So many people walk through life unaware of their own value, letting circumstance, criticism, or comparison dictate how they see themselves. But I am here to tell you your worth is not negotiable. Your value is not conditional. It is not dependent on applause, validation, or recognition from anyone else. Recognizing your worth begins with awareness. You must stop looking outward for approval and start looking inward for affirmation. Too often, We define ourselves based on the reflection in someone else's eyes. We allow their opinions, their judgments, and their misunderstandings to shape the story we tell ourselves about who we are. But when you recognize your worth, you stop asking the world for permission to exist. You stop waiting for someone else to confirm your greatness. You understand that your value is inherent. It is written into your very being. Your worth is not determined by your past mistakes. It is not defined by the failures you have experienced or the rejections you have endured. Every misstep, no, every closed door has been preparing you for the life you are meant to live. Recognizing your worth means seeing beyond the pain of yesterday and embracing the potential of today. It means understanding that what you have been through does not disqualify you, it equips you. Every scar, every tear, every setback has given you strength, wisdom, and resilience. And when you embrace this truth, you step into a life of confidence, purpose, and impact. Recognizing your worth requires courage. It requires the courage to stand alone when necessary, the courage to say no when the world pressures you to conform, and the courage to pursue what you know in your heart is right, even when others do not understand. There will be voices that try to diminish you, people who will tell you that you are not enough, and circumstances that will seem to prove that you are unworthy. But the truth is, these opinions do not define you. Your worth is a constant, unshakable reality, and when you recognize it, nothing external can take it from you. Recognizing your worth also changes the way you interact with the world. When you understand your value, you no longer settle for less than you deserve. You no longer tolerate disrespect, neglect, or undervaluation. You set boundaries that honor your spirit, your time, and your energy. You attract people, opportunities, and circumstances that reflect the level of respect and honor you have for yourself. Recognizing your worth transforms your relationships, your career, and your entire approach to life, because everything you do begins with the understanding that you deserve the best life has to offer. Recognizing your worth is not about arrogance. It is not about pride or entitlement. It is about truth. It is about seeing yourself as you were created to be, complete, capable, and deserving of every good thing life has to offer. There is a world of people who have not recognized their own value, and as a result, they live in mediocrity, comparison, and compromise. But when you recognize your worth, you are no longer held captive by the world's opinions. You walk in freedom, you walk in clarity, you walk in purpose. Recognizing your worth also requires reflection. You must take the time to examine your life, to evaluate your gifts, your talents, the unique contributions you bring to the world. You must pause and acknowledge your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Every step forward, every obstacle overcome, every lesson learned is proof of your strength and proof of your value. When you take the time to recognize these truths, you begin to internalize them. You begin to see yourself through the lens of possibility rather than limitation. Recognizing your worth empowers you to forgive yourself and others. Often, we fail to see our value because we are weighed down by guilt, regret, or resentment. We allow the mistakes of the past to cloud our vision of who we are. Recognizing your worth means understanding that you are more than your failures and that every experience has meaning. It means giving yourself permission to grow, to learn, and to move forward with dignity. And when you do this, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of hope, a living example of the power of self-acceptance and self-respect. When you recognize your worth, you start to see opportunities that were always within your reach. You stop doubting your abilities. You stop waiting for someone else to tell you it's okay to succeed. You begin to pursue your goals with intention, clarity, and passion because you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are capable. Recognizing your worth transforms your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith, and from hesitation to action. It equips you with the confidence to take bold steps, to embrace challenges, to fulfill your purpose with relentless determination. Recognizing your worth also has a ripple effect. When you value yourself, you teach others how to value you. You set the standard for how you will be treated, and in doing so, you elevate the level of respect and honor in every area of your life. People are drawn to confidence and authenticity. They are inspired by self-respect and intentional living. By recognizing your worth, you not only change your own life, you influence the lives of those around you, creating a legacy of empowerment and inspiration. Stop measuring yourself against the world. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop allowing external circumstances to define your value. Look within. Recognize the gifts, the talents, potential that you possess. Affirm your worth daily. Speak to yourself with love and respect. Guard your spirit. Protect your dreams. Honor your journey. Because when you recognize your worth, you unlock a life that is rich in purpose, fulfillment, and joy. Your worth is not up for negotiation. It is not contingent upon anyone else's approval. It is not something that can be given or taken away. It is a truth that exists within you, waiting for you to embrace it. Recognize your worth, and the world will recognize it too. Recognize your worth, and your confidence will radiate. Recognize your worth, and doors will open that you never imagined. Recognize your worth, and your life will never be the same again. The time is now. Moment is yours. Stop waiting for permission. Stop seeking validation from outside. Look in the mirror. See the strength, the beauty, power that resides within you. Speak life over yourself. Claim your value. Walk boldly in your truth. Recognize your worth. Step into the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. Life is full of demands. Life is full of distractions. Every day, people, situations, circumstances are trying to take pieces of your energy, your focus, your time, your spirit. And if you are not careful, you will wake up one day feeling drained, depleted, and disconnected from the very person you are meant to be. That is why guarding your energy is not just important, it is essential. It is the difference between living a life of purpose and being pulled in 100 directions, never accomplishing what you were created to do. Guarding your energy begins with awareness. You must first recognize where your energy is going. Who are the people you allow to influence your thoughts? What conversations do you participate in that leave you feeling small, anxious, or frustrated? What activities consume your time without contributing to your growth, your joy, or your purpose? Awareness is the first step because you cannot protect what you do not know is being threatened. Once you see clearly where your energy is being spent, you can take intentional action to protect it. Guarding your energy requires boundaries. You must learn to say no to situations that drain you, to people who disrespect you, and to commitments that pull you away from your priorities. Too often, we live as if saying yes to everything is a badge of honor. We believe that if we please everyone, we will be loved, accepted, or appreciated. But the truth is, saying yes to everything is a guaranteed way to say no to yourself. When you set boundaries, you declare that your energy, your time, and your focus are valuable. You declare that you will not be depleted for the sake of others' convenience. Boundaries are not a sign of weakness. They are a declaration of self-respect. Guarding your energy means being selective with your relationships. There are people in your life who uplift you, encourage you, and inspire you to be better. And there are people who drain you, distract you, and diminish your spirit. It is essential to recognize the difference. Surround yourself with those who add value to your life, not those who subtract from it. Protecting your energy sometimes means distancing yourself from toxic relationships, even if they are familiar, even if they are comfortable. Growth demands that you choose wisely whom you allow into your inner circle, because the energy you absorb from others directly impacts your mindset, your actions, your results. Guarding your energy also requires discipline in how you engage with the world. The constant noise of social media, endless barrage of information, and the demands of modern life can easily consume your focus if you are not careful. You must be intentional about what you allow into your mind and heart. Protect your attention like it is the most valuable asset you own, because it is. Every thought you entertain, every piece of information you consume, and every emotion you indulge in shapes your reality. Guard it diligently. Guard it fiercely, because your energy is sacred. Guarding your energy means taking care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Physical health, mental clarity, spiritual grounding are all interconnected. When your body is depleted, your mind becomes clouded. When your mind is scattered, your decisions become weak. When your spirit is neglected, your purpose becomes obscured. Protect your energy by nourishing your body with proper care, feeding your mind with wisdom, cultivating your spirit with reflection, prayer, meditation, or contemplation. Your energy is a holistic resource. It requires balance and intentional upkeep. Guarding your energy is also about recognizing your emotional investment. Too often, people invest themselves in situations that are not meant for them, relationships, jobs, or opportunities that drain instead of uplift. You must learn to evaluate where your emotional energy goes. Ask yourself, does the situation serve me, challenge me positively, or move me toward my goals? Does it keep me stuck, stressed, and distracted? Your emotional investment should be intentional, not compulsive. Guard it like treasure because it is one of the most powerful forces you possess. Guarding your energy is essential for your focus and success. When your energy is scattered, your vision becomes blurry. You may have a dream, a calling, or a goal, but if you are giving yourself away to distractions and care enough, you will never see it come to fruition. Protecting your energy allows you to concentrate on what matters most. It allows you to invest deeply in your craft, your relationships, and your purpose. The results of guarded energy are clarity, productivity, and fulfillment. Because when your energy is directed, your life follows. Guarding your energy requires self-respect. It means understanding that you are worthy of peace, joy, and purpose. It means refusing to tolerate negativity, drama, or manipulation. It means choosing environments, people, habits that support your growth instead of diminish it. Too often, people believe they must endure disrespect or chaos to succeed or to be loved. But the truth is, guarding your energy is an act of empowerment. It is a statement that you will not allow external circumstances to dictate your inner state. Your energy is yours. It is sacred, finite, and precious, and it deserves protection. Guarding your energy also builds resilience. When you are intentional about where your focus and attention go, you are less likely to be shaken by challenges, criticism, or opposition. Your internal strength becomes fortified because you are not expending it recklessly. You become able to navigate adversity with clarity, confidence, and determination. The storms of life may come, but if your energy is guarded, your foundation remains unshakable. Finally, guarding your energy is essential for your happiness. Life is too short to live drained, depleted, and disconnected from yourself. When you protect your energy, you cultivate peace, joy, and fulfillment. You create a life that reflects the values, priorities, and purpose that truly matter to you. Your energy becomes a force that propels you forward, not a resource that is wasted on things that do not serve you. You will find that as you guard your energy, your relationships, your productivity, and your sense of self all improve exponentially. Protect your energy. Be vigilant. Be intentional. Be selective. Say no to what drains you. Walk away from what diminishes you. Surround yourself with what uplifts you. Feed your body, mind, and spirit. Guard your focus and emotional investment. Your energy is the fuel for your life, and if you allow it to be scattered, your potential will be diminished. When you guard it, you unlock clarity, power, and purpose. Your energy is sacred. Treat it as such. Protect it as you would protect a treasure. Guard it as you would guard your life. Because the truth is, it is the very essence of your life, your drive, your vision, your passion, and your power. Guard your energy and you will rise. Guard your energy and you will thrive. Guard your energy and the life you were created to live will become inevitable. There is no investment greater than investing in yourself. It is the foundation upon which every success, every dream, and every purpose is built. Too often, people spend their lives investing in others, in fleeting pleasures, in distractions, and in temporary recognition, but they neglect the one person who will be with them every step of the way themselves. To invest in yourself is to understand that your growth, your knowledge, your health, your skills, and your character are the most valuable assets you will ever own. Investing in yourself begins with recognizing your potential. Every one of us has talents, abilities, and gifts uniquely ours. Yet many people fail to cultivate them. They allow fear, doubt, and procrastination to dominate their actions. They settle for mediocrity when greatness is within reach. But when you invest in yourself, you make a deliberate choice to nurture the potential that already exists within you. You commit to learning, to improving, to becoming a person who can meet life's challenges with confidence and courage. Investing in yourself requires time. Time is one of the most precious resources you have, and how you spend it determines the trajectory of your life. If you invest your time in mindless entertainment, gossip, or other people's drama, you will reap what you sow: distraction, stagnation, and regret. If you invest your time in reading, studying, developing skills, and reflecting on your purpose, you create exponential growth. Time invested in yourself compounds in ways that no external investment ever could. Every hour you dedicate to learning, growing, and improving becomes a deposit into the account of your future. Investing in yourself requires money. Yes, money. But it is not about extravagance. It is about value. Spend resources on books that expand your mind, courses that sharpen your skills, experiences that challenge you, mentors who guide you toward success. Every dollar you spend on your growth is an investment that pays returns you cannot measure in cash alone. Pays in knowledge, confidence, resilience, and opportunities. Those who invest in themselves never run out of ways to grow, because the more they learn, the more they can contribute, create, and achieve. Investing in yourself requires emotional commitment. It requires the willingness to face your fears, confront your weaknesses, and embrace discomfort. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. If you want to be more, do more, and achieve more, you must be willing to push yourself beyond the familiar, beyond the safe, and beyond the easy. Investing in yourself means saying yes to challenges that stretch you and no to habits or patterns that hold you back. It means refusing to let the fear of failure prevent you from stepping into your purpose. Investing in yourself means prioritizing your health. Physical, mental, spiritual well-being are essential to maximizing your potential. You cannot perform at your best if your body is weak, your mind is cluttered, your spirit is neglected. Nourish yourself, exercise, eat well, sleep well, meditate, pray, reflect. Take care of your inner and outer self with intentionality. When you invest in your health, you increase your stamina, your clarity, and your ability to perform at the highest level, which allows you to pursue your dreams without unnecessary limitations. Investing in yourself also requires the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of toxic relationships, negative thoughts, and limiting beliefs. These things drain your energy and diminish your capacity to grow. When you release what is holding you back, you create space for new opportunities, new relationships, and new levels of growth. Investing in yourself means being intentional about the environment you live in, the people you allow into your inner circle, and the messages you allow your mind to absorb. Guarding these carefully is part of investing in the life you deserve. Investing in yourself means continuous learning. Education does not end with a degree, diploma, or a certificate. Life itself is the greatest teacher, and the investment you make in acquiring knowledge, honing your skills, and developing your character is what determines your long-term success. Read books, attend seminars, listen to mentors, learn from mistakes. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. Every lesson learned, every skill acquired, every insight gained is an investment that compounds over a lifetime. Investing in yourself also cultivates confidence. There is no substitute for the assurance that comes from knowing you are prepared, capable, and equipped to handle life's challenges. When you invest in your skills, your knowledge, your health, and your character, you carry a sense of certainty that no one can take from you. Confidence does not come from external validation. It comes from the inner knowledge that you are investing in your growth, and therefore, you are prepared to face whatever life throws your way. Investing in yourself inspires others. The more you grow, the more you are able to lift others, guide them, and influence them positively. Investing in yourself is not selfish, it is purposeful. It allows you to serve more effectively, lead more powerfully, and contribute more meaningfully. The investment you make in your life becomes a beacon for others to recognize their own potential and pursue their own growth. You become the best version of yourself. You create a ripple effect of inspiration, excellence, and empowerment. Investing in yourself also prepares you for opportunity. Life will present chances, doors, and moments that require readiness. If you have neglected your growth, You may find yourself unprepared to seize them, but if you have invested in yourself, your mind, your skills, and your character, you will recognize opportunity when it comes, and you will be ready to step boldly into it. Investing in yourself is an investment in your readiness to live the life you were meant to live. Finally, investing in yourself ensures legacy. What you do for yourself matters, but what it enables you to do for others is eternal. Every step you take to grow, every skill you master, every wisdom you acquire allows you to impact not only your life, but the lives of those around you. You become a source of guidance, inspiration, and influence. The investment you make in yourself today is a foundation for generations to come. Invest in yourself. Make a commitment to your growth, your knowledge, your health, and your character. Protect your time, your energy, and your focus. Seek opportunities to learn to grow and to expand your capacity. Step into challenges that stretch you and push you to new levels. Guard against distractions that waste your resources and dilute your energy. The returns you reap from investing in yourself are immeasurable. They are freedom, confidence, purpose, and the ability to live a life of impact. Remember, the most important investment you will ever make is in you. Nothing else compares. Nothing else will yield the same long-term results. Invest in yourself. Everything else, your career, your relationships, your purpose, will follow. Your future, your success, and your fulfillment depend on it. Start today. Commit today. Invest in yourself because you are worth it, and your life deserves nothing less than the full expression of your potential. Setting boundaries is not just an action, it is a declaration. It is a statement that says, I know my value, I know my limits. I will not allow anything or anyone to diminish my life, my energy, or my purpose. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your peace, safeguard your energy, and define your identity. Yet so many people live without them, allowing life to sweep them along in chaos, conflict, and compromise. Today, I want to tell you that setting boundaries is essential, not optional, for anyone who desires to live a life of purpose, power, and fulfillment. Boundaries begin with self-awareness. Before you can set limits with others, you must understand yourself. You must know your values, your priorities, your needs, your non-negotiables. Too often, people set boundaries based on fear, reaction, or avoidance rather than clarity. They say yes when they should say no, tolerate what they should not tolerate, and compromise what they should protect. Boundaries are not about isolation or selfishness. They are about recognizing what you need to thrive and ensuring that your environment supports rather than sabotages your growth. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It tells the world that your time, energy, and emotions are not disposable. It says, I am worthy of respect, and I will not allow anything to diminish me. When you set boundaries, you define the standard for how you will be treated. People often think boundaries are harsh, rigid, or confrontational, but in truth, they are a reflection of love for yourself and love for others. Boundaries create clarity, reduce conflict, and promote healthier relationships because everyone knows where they stand. Boundaries protect your energy. In today's world, energy is everything. Every conversation, every interaction, every obligation has a cost. Some drain you, some inspire you, some challenge you, and some leave you depleted. Without boundaries, your energy is scattered, your focus is lost, and your capacity to pursue your purpose diminishes. Setting boundaries means choosing where your energy goes, who deserves it, activities or people will be allowed into your life. Guarding your energy is not optional. It is essential for growth, success, and fulfillment. Setting boundaries requires courage. Saying no can be uncomfortable. Standing up for yourself may feel confrontational. Choosing your needs over someone else's demands may spark resistance or criticism, but courage is the bridge between self-respect and empowerment. Every time you assert a boundary, you reinforce your worth and protect your peace. You teach others how to interact with you. You create a life that aligns with your values rather than bending to the chaos around you. Courage in boundaries is not aggression. It is clarity and conviction. Boundaries also create space for growth. When you allow people or distractions to overrun your life, you stunt your progress. You are pulled in directions that do not serve your purpose, and your vision becomes blurred. But when you establish limits, you create breathing room for reflection, learning, and personal development. Boundaries give you the mental and emotional space to focus on your dreams, sharpen your skills, and nurture the relationships that truly matter. Growth requires space, and boundaries are the walls that protect that space. Boundaries are also essential in relationships. Every meaningful connection requires respect, understanding, and reciprocity. Without boundaries, relationships become imbalanced. You may give more than you receive, tolerate behavior that diminishes your self-esteem, or allow others to take advantage of your generosity. Boundaries clarify expectations. They establish mutual respect. They ensure that love, friendship, and partnership are healthy, empowering, and sustaining. Relationships without boundaries are chaotic. Relationships with boundaries are strong, balanced, and enduring. Setting boundaries also enhances your focus. Your time and energy are limited, and you cannot afford to scatter them on everything and everyone. Every boundary you set is a statement about your priorities. It is a filter that ensures you are dedicating your resources to what truly matters. When you protect your focus, you protect your progress. When you define your limits, you define the trajectory of your life. Boundaries keep you aligned with your goals, your purpose, and your vision. Without them, distraction is inevitable. With them, clarity becomes your constant companion. Boundaries require consistency. One boundary established and then ignored is no boundary at all. Every time you compromise your limits, you teach others that your values are negotiable. Consistency communicates strength, reliability, and self-respect. It ensures that boundaries are understood, respected, and maintained. It builds trust, both within yourself and in your relationships. When you consistently enforce your boundaries, you live with integrity and demand the respect that is your due. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges. They do not isolate you, they connect you to what truly matters. They allow you to invest your energy wisely, nurture relationships healthily, and pursue your purpose relentlessly. They ensure that your life is guided by intention rather than reaction. They transform chaos into order, depletion into vitality, and compromise into empowerment. Boundaries do not limit your life, they liberate it. They give you the freedom to be fully present, fully committed, and fully alive. Finally, setting boundaries is essential for self-love. It is a tangible way to demonstrate that you value yourself. It is proof that you will not settle for less than you deserve. It is a commitment to your well-being, your growth, and your destiny. Self-love without boundaries is incomplete because without limits, love becomes sacrifice. Sacrifice without boundaries leads to resentment, fatigue, and loss of self. Boundaries are the pillars of self-love, supporting your life, your purpose, and your joy. Set your boundaries, define your limits, protect your energy, your focus, and your peace. Communicate clearly, act consistently, and refuse to compromise your worth. Surround yourself with those who respect your lines and distance yourself from what undermines your growth. Boundaries are not a sign of weakness. They are a declaration of strength. They are the blueprint for a life of clarity, confidence, and fulfillment. Boundaries are the difference between a life that is reactive and chaotic and a life that is intentional and purposeful. They are the invisible armor that shields your spirit, the compass that guides your decisions, and the foundation upon which your success is built. Set boundaries, guard them, honor them, and watch as your life transforms. Your peace is worth it, your energy is worth it, and your purpose demands it. Fear and doubt are two of the most powerful forces that can hold a person back from achieving greatness. They whisper in your ear that you are not enough. You cannot succeed, that the challenges before you are too great. They creep into your mind when you are trying to dream, trying to create, trying to step into your purpose. But I am here to tell you today, fear and doubt are not stronger than you. You were created for more than your fears. You were designed to overcome more than your doubts. And the key to unlocking your full potential lies in learning to confront, challenge, and rise above them. The first step in overcoming fear and doubt is recognition. You must become aware of them. Fear is often disguised as caution, hesitation, or anxiety. While doubt manifests as self-criticism, second-guessing, or procrastination, you cannot defeat what you do not acknowledge. Take the time to identify the moments when fear and doubt arise. Write them down, speak them aloud, and face them with courage. Naming your fears is the first act of power, because once they are recognized, they lose some of their invisible control over you. Fear and doubt thrive in uncertainty. They feed on what you cannot see and what you cannot control. But life, by its very nature, is uncertain. Every great opportunity carries risk, every dream carries challenge, and every step forward carries unknowns. The secret is not to eliminate uncertainty that is impossible, but to act despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward in spite of fear. Confidence is not the absence of doubt. Confidence is choosing to believe in your ability to overcome it. The moment you act despite fear and doubt, you reclaim your power and take control of your destiny. Overcoming fear and doubt also requires faith in yourself. You must believe in your own worth, your own abilities, and your own potential. Too often, fear and doubt succeed because we do not trust ourselves. We let past failures, criticism, or setbacks dictate our future. But you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not defined by the opinions of others. You are a being of infinite potential. And the first step in defeating fear and doubt is to trust that within you lies the ability to rise above them. Courage is built through action. The more you face fear and doubt, the weaker they become. Start small. Take steps, even if they are hesitant, toward your goals. Each act of courage is a brick in the foundation of confidence. Each choice to act despite uncertainty chips away at the walls that fear and doubt try to build around your mind and heart. You will find that the more you act, the less power fear holds over you. You will discover that your own strength, resilience, and determination are far greater than any obstacle you imagine. Fear and doubt often arise from comparison. We look at others, at their success, their talent, their opportunities, and we tell ourselves, I cannot do that. I will never measure up. I am not ready. But comparison is the thief of progress. The journey of another person is not your measure. Your life, your talents, and your purpose are unique. Overcoming fear and doubt requires turning your focus inward, not outward. Concentrate on your growth, your gifts, and your journey. When you focus on your own path, fear loses its footing and doubt becomes irrelevant. Overcoming fear and doubt also requires preparation. Fear often arises from the unknown. Doubt often thrives in uncertainty. But when you equip yourself with knowledge, skills, and understanding, you build a fortress against them. Study, learn, practice, hone your talents, prepare for challenges. Preparation does not eliminate fear, it diminishes its power. When you are ready, you can act with confidence, knowing that you are equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Remember, fear and doubt are not your enemies. They are indicators. They show you where growth is needed, where courage must be exercised, where faith must be strengthened. Fear signals that something important is at stake. Doubt signals that your belief in yourself needs reinforcement. Instead of running from them, face them, examine them. Ask yourself what they are teaching you. Transform them from obstacles into guides that point you toward courage, resilience, and determination. Surrounding yourself with support is also essential in overcoming fear and doubt. You do not have to face life alone. Seek mentors, friends, communities that encourage, uplift, and challenge you to be your best self. Positive reinforcement strengthens your courage, builds your confidence, provides perspective when fear and doubt cloud your judgment. Avoid those who amplify your insecurities or discourage your progress. The energy around you can either fuel your courage or feed your fear. Choose wisely. Overcoming fear and doubt requires patience. It is not instantaneous. You will encounter moments when fear returns, when doubt creeps back into your thoughts, when hesitation threatens to stop you. This is natural. Growth and courage are built over time through repeated acts of defiance against fear and repeated affirmations of self-belief. Each time you step forward, each time you choose action over inaction, each time you silence doubt with determination, you strengthen your resolve. Persistence is the ultimate weapon against fear and doubt. Finally, overcoming fear and doubt is about embracing your destiny. You were created for a purpose that is bigger than your anxieties, larger than your insecurities, and brighter than your limitations. Fear and doubt are temporary. Your potential is eternal. Every time you face them, every time you move despite them, you step closer to the life you were meant to live. Courage is your bridge to possibility. Faith is your anchor in uncertainty. Action is your proof that you are more than the fears that try to hold you back. Confront your fear. Challenge your doubt. Speak truth to yourself. Affirm your abilities. Act with courage. Prepare with diligence. Surround yourself with support. And never forget that within you is a power greater than any obstacle. Fear and doubt are strong, but you are stronger. They may whisper, but your voice, your purpose, your determination must be louder. Rise above them. Move forward despite them. Step boldly into your destiny. And let nothing stand in your way. Life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will hand you circumstances that you did not choose, situations that feel unfair, and moments that seem beyond your control. And in those moments, it is easy to point fingers, to blame others, to believe that your destiny is determined by someone else's decisions or that the world is conspiring against you. But I am here to tell you today, true power in life does not come from controlling others. It comes from taking responsibility for yourself. Taking responsibility for your life is the cornerstone of freedom, growth, and purpose. To take responsibility for your life means to stop blaming external circumstances for your failures and setbacks. Too often we say, if only this person had done this, I would be successful. Or if only that situation had been different, my life would be better. But the truth is, life is rarely fair, and waiting for the perfect conditions will only lead to stagnation. Real power comes when you acknowledge that, regardless of what has happened in the past, you are capable of shaping your present and influencing your future. Responsibility is empowerment. It is saying, I am the author of my story, and I will write it well. Taking responsibility also requires self-reflection. You must examine your decisions, your habits, and your mindset. It means asking hard questions. Where have I fallen short? What choices did I make that led me here? What can I do differently moving forward? Responsibility is not about self-blame or guilt. It is about accountability. It is about recognizing that while you cannot control everything, you can control your actions, your responses, and your attitude. Choice you make is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. Own it. Accept it, learn from it. Taking responsibility for your life means embracing your potential fully. It is easy to live small, to settle, to let fear dictate your decisions, to accept less than you deserve. But responsibility demands courage, the courage to step into your purpose, the courage to pursue your dreams, courage to do the work required to achieve them. You cannot wait for someone to hand you your destiny. You cannot rely on luck, chance, whims of others. You must take control. You must act intentionally. Responsibility is the bridge between potential and achievement. Taking responsibility requires action. Dreams without action remain fantasies. Goals without effort remain distant. Responsibility is not passive, it is active. It is the consistent, deliberate choice to do what is necessary to create the life you desire. It is taking ownership of your failures and your successes alike, using both as fuel to propel you forward. When you act responsibly, you reclaim power that fear, doubt, and circumstance try to steal from you. You shift from being a victim of life to a master of your destiny. Taking responsibility for your life also demands discipline. Discipline is the daily practice of making choices that align with your goals, values, and purpose. It is showing up even when motivation wanes, even when obstacles appear, and even when the world seems to resist you. Responsibility without discipline is empty. It produces desire but not results. Discipline turns responsibility into results, and results into fulfillment. When you discipline yourself to take consistent, intentional action, you build momentum, confidence, and the life you have envisioned. Taking responsibility means being honest with yourself. It means confronting uncomfortable truths and owning them without excuses. It means acknowledging where you have fallen short, where you have wasted time, where you have allowed fear or laziness to control your actions. Honesty is the foundation of responsibility. Without it, You live in denial, blaming others and remaining stuck. With it, you gain clarity, direction, and power. Only when you are honest with yourself can you make the changes necessary to step into the life you were created to live. Taking responsibility for your life strengthens resilience. Life will not always go as planned. Challenges will come, people will fail you. Opportunities will be delayed. But when you take full responsibility for your life, you develop the mindset to respond rather than react. You see setbacks not as obstacles, but as lessons. You see failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Responsibility gives you the ability to recover, adapt, and continue forward with determination. It transforms adversity into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Taking responsibility also shapes your relationships. When you own your actions, your choices, and your impact on others, you build trust, respect, and integrity. People are drawn to those who do not make excuses, who are accountable, and who take charge of their lives. Responsibility creates credibility. It creates influence. It demonstrates maturity and leadership. Those who take responsibility for themselves are the ones who inspire others to take responsibility for their own lives, creating a ripple effect of empowerment and growth. Taking responsibility for your life is ultimately about freedom. Freedom is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to navigate them with power, clarity, and agency. When you refuse to blame others, when you take ownership of your choices, when you act intentionally to create your life, you liberate yourself from the chains of victimhood, resentment, and regret. You step into the driver's seat of your destiny. You decide the direction. You control the pace. You choose the outcome. Responsibility is freedom in action. Finally, taking responsibility for your life is about honoring your purpose. You were created for a reason. You have gifts, talents, and contributions that no one else can bring into the world. Every day that you refuse responsibility, you delay the fulfillment of that purpose. Every decision you make without ownership diminishes your potential. But when you take responsibility, you align with your destiny. You act with intention. You move with focus. You create a life that reflects the greatness you were born to manifest. Stop blaming others. Stop waiting for the world to make things right. Stop allowing circumstances to define you. Look in the mirror. Own your choices, your actions, and your path. Take responsibility for your life. Invest in your growth. Face your fears. Act with courage. Discipline yourself. Learn from mistakes. Build resilience. And in doing all of this, reclaim the power that is rightfully yours. Responsibility is not a burden. It is empowerment. It is the key to freedom, purpose, and fulfillment. You are the author of your story, the architect of your destiny, and the master of your life. Take responsibility for it. Watch as your life transforms, your potential unfolds, and your dreams become reality. The power is in your hands, and it begins with ownership. Every morning is a new opportunity. Every day is a chance to step into your purpose, to embrace your potential, and to leave behind the limitations of yesterday. Too often, we allow life's challenges, setbacks, or even our own doubts to keep us from rising fully and shining brightly. Rising and shining is not just about waking up physically. It is about awakening your mind, your spirit, and your potential. It is about stepping into the light of who you were created to be and refusing to hide in the shadows of fear, hesitation, or regret. To rise and shine, you must first awaken your vision. Too many people move through life blindly, without clarity, without purpose, without knowing why they exist or what they were created to accomplish. Vision is the spark that ignites action. Vision is the force that pulls you out of bed even when the world seems heavy, even when the odds are against you. When you have a clear vision, rising is no longer optional. It is inevitable. Shining becomes a natural outcome because your purpose illuminates your path, guiding you past obstacles and leading you toward fulfillment. Rising and shining begins with belief in yourself. You must believe that you are capable, that you are worthy, and that you are equipped to handle whatever challenges come your way. Too often, people dim their own light because they do not trust themselves. They let fear, doubt, and comparison dictate their actions. But the truth is, within you lies the power to rise above every limitation, overcome every challenge, and excel in ways you never imagined. Belief in yourself is the foundation of rising. Without it, no external force can lift you. With it, nothing can hold you back. Rising and shining requires courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite fear. Every time you face a challenge, every time you confront uncertainty, every time you step beyond your comfort zone, you are rising. Every time you refuse to let doubt dictate your decisions, you are shining. Courage is the fuel that transforms potential into action, hesitation into movement, and dreams into reality. It is the light that pierces the darkness, the force that propels you forward when the world says stop, and the strength that enables you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. Rising and shining demands resilience. Life will push you down. Obstacles will appear, people will doubt you, circumstances will seem unfair. But rising is about refusing to stay down. It is about getting up again and again, no matter how many times you fall. It is about recognizing that setbacks are not endings, they are setups for greater victories. When you rise after a fall, you strengthen your spirit. When you shine after adversity, you inspire others. Resilience is not just a trait, it is a practice. It is the repeated choice to keep going when others would quit, to keep moving when the path seems impossible, and to keep believing when the world tries to convince you otherwise. Rising and shining requires discipline. Discipline is what transforms intention into reality. It is the consistent effort to pursue your goals, nurture your talents, and honor your commitments. Without discipline, vision remains a dream, courage remains untested, and resilience loses its power. Discipline is the daily action that ensures your rise is steady and your shine is lasting. It is the practice of showing up, doing the work, refusing to let distractions, excuses, or setbacks derail your progress. Every disciplined choice you make compounds, propelling you closer to the life you were created to live. Rising and shining also demands focus. The world is full of distractions, noise, and negativity. To rise above, you must keep your attention on what matters most: your purpose, your goals, and your growth. Focus allows you to channel your energy, maximize your potential, and make meaningful progress. Shining is not about being everywhere or doing everything. It is about being intentional with your energy, intentional with your choices, and intentional with your actions. When you focus, you rise efficiently. When you focus, you shine powerfully. Rising and shining requires gratitude. Gratitude may seem simple, but it is transformative. When you recognize the blessings in your life, you shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance. You stop dwelling on what is missing and start celebrating what is present. Gratitude fuels optimism, reinforces resilience, and strengthens your spirit. It is a light that amplifies your shine and a force that propels your rise. Even in difficult circumstances, choosing gratitude allows you to see opportunity, find strength, and move forward with confidence. Rising and shining is also about influence. When you rise, you lift others. When you shine, you inspire others. Your actions, your attitude, and your energy ripple beyond your own life. Every act of courage, every step of resilience, every disciplined effort, and every moment of focus not only advances your life, but sets an example for others to follow. To rise and shine is not just to achieve, it is to illuminate, to encourage, and to empower those around you. Your light becomes a beacon, guiding others out of darkness and into their own greatness. Rising and shining is a choice. Every day, you have the opportunity to decide whether you will step fully into your life or remain dormant. Every day, you have the choice to pursue your potential or settle for mediocrity. Every day, you have the choice to shine brightly or hide your gifts. The world may try to convince you that you are not ready, not capable, or not worthy, but the decision to rise and shine is in your hands. It is a declaration that you refuse to be limited by fear, doubt, or circumstance. It is a commitment to yourself and your purpose that nothing will hold you back. Finally, rising and shining is about legacy. It is about leaving a mark on the world that reflects your gifts, your courage, and your purpose. Life is fleeting. The impact of a life fully lived is eternal. When you rise above your challenges, pursue your dreams relentlessly, and shine with authenticity, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your own story. You become a testament to the power of courage, resilience, and determination. You show others what is possible when one refuses to be dimmed or defeated. Rise with intention, rise with courage, rise with resilience, shine. Shine with clarity, shine with purpose, shine with the knowledge that you were created to make a difference every day, and decide that you will not let fear, doubt, or hesitation hold you back. Step into your power. Step into your purpose. Step into your light. Your rise is your responsibility. Your shine is your gift. Claim both and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined. Rising and shining is not just about surviving. It is about thriving. It is about living fully, loving deeply, and leading courageously. It is about stepping out of the shadows and into the brilliance of who you were created to be. Rise and shine, for the world needs your light, your voice, and your presence. You were made for this moment. You were made to rise. You were made to shine. And when you do, nothing will ever be the same again.